They say Atlantis is just a legend, a story told by Plato over 2,000 years ago, a parable about greed, pride, and the fall of a great civilization. But legends have a way of sticking around. And the thing about legends is, sometimes they're true. My journey began with an email. It was from a marine archaeologist I'd met briefly at a conference. In the message, he wrote only this: "I think I found something. Meet me in Santorini." There was no explanation, no photos, no coordinates, just an invitation that I couldn't ignore. When I arrived in Santorini, the air was thick with heat and the smell of salt. My contact, Dr. Elias, looked older than I remembered. Sunburned skin, eyes that seemed permanently squinting from years of staring into the glare of the Aegean. Over strong coffee in a tiny seaside cafe, he unfolded a map. "This," he said, pointing to a series of sonar readings, "is not natural, and it's not volcanic." The scans showed strange patterns on the seafloor, 200 meters below the surface. Rectangular shapes, straight lines where there shouldn't be any. The kind of geometry nature doesn't make by accident. 2 days later, we were on a small research vessel heading toward the coordinates. The sea was calm, but there was an eerie stillness in the air. No birds, no other boats, just the hum of the engine and the endless blue stretching to the horizon. We reached the site by mid-afternoon. Dr. Elias and his team lowered an ROV, a remote-operated underwater vehicle, into the water. The live feed flickered on a small monitor in the cabin. At first, we saw only sand, rocks, and the occasional flicker of a fish. But then, it appeared. Massive stone blocks, each the size of a car, stacked with precision. Columns lying broken on the seafloor, encrusted with coral. What looked like the remains of a road, perfectly straight, stretching far into the distance until it disappeared into darkness. The room was silent except for the hum of the ROV. No one wanted to be the first to say it, but we were all thinking the same thing. Could this be part of Atlantis? We decided to dive. The water was colder than I expected, a heavy, almost oppressive cold. As we descended, the light faded quickly, replaced by the greenish glow of our torches. The structures loomed larger, more detailed. Carvings still visible on some of the stones, symbols I didn't recognize, but that looked deliberate. At one point, I swam through what might have been a doorway. Inside, the floor was covered in fine silt that swirled with every movement. And then I saw something that made my breath catch, a piece of pottery, still intact, lying half-buried. It's hard to describe the feeling. It wasn't just excitement, it was reverence. Like standing in a cathedral built by people who lived thousands of years before you were born. We spent hours exploring, documenting, filming. The deeper we went, the stranger it became. There were walls with perfect right angles, steps carved into the rock, and what looked like a large circular platform in the center of the site. Dr. Elias whispered over the comms. Plato described a great circular temple to Poseidon. But then something unexpected happened. The water temperature dropped sharply. My gauge read 10 degrees colder in less than a minute. And then our compasses began to spin wildly. The ROV feed cut out. It was as if the entire area had been swallowed by some kind of magnetic anomaly. Dr. Elias signaled to surface. None of us argued. Back on the boat, we tried to explain it. Maybe geothermal vents, maybe a fault line, maybe equipment failure. But deep down, I think we all felt something else, like the city didn't want to be found. We returned to shore that night, exhausted, sunburned, and changed. I don't know if what we saw was Atlantis. Maybe it was just another forgotten city swallowed by time and the sea. But I do know this. It's out there. Something is out there. And it's waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. If you've ever felt the pull of an unsolved mystery, you'll understand why I'm going back. Because sometimes legends are more than just stories, and sometimes they're invitations. Subscribe for more real-life expeditions, lost city legends, and mysteries the ocean still hides. And remember, the truth is always out there. You just have to be willing to dive deep enough to find it.